What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Corvette Weekly. I think it was C8 Nate here said that I'm always fashionably late to the lives. It was not me. It was not me. It was kind of me. It was me and Brandon or David both. We were both having a little bit of an issue. But we're here now, guys. So welcome to the show where you can come in, hang out for an hour, talk about everything and anything Corvette related. We got cool giveaways. We got cool information, cool rumors, cool discussion. That's ultimately what we're doing here, is just a bunch of car guys talking car stuff, specifically Corvette stuff. We do have some interesting giveaways tonight. I'm going to just hit you with the giveaways right off the bat here, guys, because I already got one entry. It looks like Jamie, Glass City Car Nerd, donated $50. We're going to do the same thing as we always have done here, guys. We're going to do the $10 is an entry, $50 is double entries, $50 and up. And tonight we're going to be giving away two different things, and they're both going to be given away tonight. The first thing is going to be the new scrape armor radiator grill guards for the side intakes on the wide body cars. So the E-Ray and Z06. The second thing is going to be, if you guys haven't seen the video I did on the Carplay Box Ultra, it's basically a box you put in your car that allows you to stream Netflix, basically any video thing you want to your car. You can run a web browser right on your infotainment system in the car, on your C8, C7, TRX, pretty much any car that is newer than a 16, I believe. So that item alone is about $400. The scrape armor radiator grill guards for the side intakes are roughly $700 after tax and shipping. So tonight we're giving away over $1,000 worth of stuff, and you guys can win for $10. Every $10 is an entry. $50 or more is double entries. And as you guys have already started doing, if you're a member on the channel, you do get a free entry. You just got to type the number 1 in the chat there so I can get your name down. So you're going to get a free entry, but everything you donate on top of that is an additional entry or double entries if you go 50 or higher. Look at it. Look at David even getting in on it, guys. If David can do it while he's sitting here on the channel.
And Justin, I can't do it because I'm on my phone for this. You put me in for 100.
Oh, David's donating $100.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yep. I actually have the streaming thing. I just haven't put it in, but I'll put it for 100 for the
for the grill guards.
Somebody else can have it. Yeah.
Okay. So. All right. So let me get some stuff here. We've already started getting some donations. So David, I got you in for 100. That's going to be 20 entries since it's double entries.
101. Being a member.
21. David's in for 21. Steve Robertson is in for 20. Actually, he's in for 21 as well. Who else did we get?
Nate, there's a great story behind that emoji that I'll have to tell you offline.
What? Which one?
Brandon's emoji where he's doing the face.
Why do you have to tell him that offline?
Well, I mean, I guess. All right. So we were trying to figure out some caricatures to make t-shirts kind of thing, and I kept bugging Brandon for a headshot. I'm like, Brandon, I need a headshot. Brandon, I need a headshot. And he took this headshot, and you can't really see it in the emoji there, but like he doesn't have a shirt. I was like, do you have any clothes? He just got out of the shower and took this picture. And I was like, oh man, only you would do that. Dude.
Yeah. All right, so guys, I got I turned David's volume up. He should be a little louder now. I noticed that myself. So
yeah, I can move my mic around a little bit too. Is that a little bit better?
That is a little bit better.
There you go.
Let me just check something here. Turn that up. All right, we should be good. Say something now, David.
Say something now, David.
Nice. You're a little echoey, but I guess it's because you're probably in your garage. But
yeah, I try to pull the mic back a little bit usually, but if it's louder.
I love it. Professor Corvette says David's audio gets one Brandon. he has somehow found a way to make the emojis of Brandon's face a rating system.
Exactly.
All right, so let's see what else we got. Okay, so Jay's in for $50. That's 10 entries, Jay. We're going to get to the news here in 1 second too, guys. I'm just trying to gather in some of these giveaway things first. Like I said, it is the scrape armor stuff tonight and the CarPlay Box Ultra, which if you guys have not seen the video on that, you should check that out. It's on my channel, obviously. At first I did it in my C7 Corvette, then I bumped it over to the C8 Corvette. It's really, really a cool device. It allows you to do all kinds of crazy stuff, watch TV in your car, use the web browser, YouTube, whatever it is you want, and there's not any lag to it. So the device is fast enough that it actually still, still keeps up with everything. So there's no lag. Like usually these things had a lag issue, and it was because the CPUs were really like super slow. These things are fantastic now, and they're not cheap. They're like $300-400 for these things, because ultimately what the device is an Android device in a circular, a little tiny device. Like it's basically an Android phone, and it pairs to your car through your current phone if you want it to. You don't even have to have a phone to use it, as long as you have some sort of internet connection. So you can use that, or you can win that tonight, or you can win the Scrape Armor Radiator Grill Guards. I'm going to run two different giveaways, two different winners basically. So first winner, you'll choose whatever you want. Second winner will get whatever the first winner didn't choose.
Yep. I actually picked one of those up recently. I didn't know you were giving one away.
I didn't know until about 10 minutes before I made my live video here.
There you go.
Okay, we got, let's see, who's this? Got another entry for tonight. Looks like Bill is in for 10 entries. And Jeremy Runyon. That Corvette guy. Thank you for including the name, by the way. That's fantastic. You're in for 10. And oh, we got something from Clay Ernest for 10 entries. Oh, golly, they keep coming. You guys are crazy. Steve Risha, of course. Steve's in again. He keeps winning, so I wouldn't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say I wouldn't stop either if I was him. But all right, so I'm gonna get some of the free entries in here. Looks like.
Hope everybody had a good holiday while he's doing that.
Yeah, that's a great.
If anybody did anything cool, put it in the chat. Let us know, like, if there's anything cool you guys did over the holidays.
Yeah, and we still have an interesting holiday coming up, the New Year, guys. So
yeah,
I'm just getting these entries in, and then we're gonna talk some info. Now, again, guys, if you want a free entry but you are not a member yet, I'm going to go ahead and put my membership link in the chat. It costs $4.99 to become a member versus the lowest entry fee here is $10. So it's actually a little bit cheaper for you to become a member, and it will give you a free entry as well. So I put the link in the chat. If you guys want to try to grab your free entry, you can click on that, get the lowest membership, and you will get a free entry. Kevin Horan, Texas Clay, Jay Brazelton. I got all of your Venmos, all your entries, so you're good there. Brandon, you're in for one free entry. I got you, Professor Corvette. I'm just trying to get all the free entries here. There's a lot of members to the channel now. I'm over 30 now, guys, just so you know. I think I'm actually pretty close to 40, which is freaking crazy.
That's awesome, man.
So, David, why don't you, while I'm doing this, why don't you tell the lovely people of YouTube here where you've been the last 2 or 3 times we've been on live here?
Oh, I've just been crazy busy working in outside of Detroit, and I know it's going to be on. So last week they asked me to stay. They didn't have anybody to work, so I stayed and worked Monday, Tuesday, and then flew home like 5 a.m. on Christmas morning. So, but just being busy with work, man, that's it. I mean, I get into the comments on, I can do that at work and stuff, but just crazy. I'm back to normal, pretty much normal schedule, beyond every other week now. But it's what it's been, man. It's just, I think I had like 1 day off in the month of December. So
yeah, that's nuts, man.
It's been a wild month, man. It's been a wild month.
Well, he's back here today, guys. Today is actually not the normal day I would have Brandon or David on, but decided to have David on because it's been a little bit since he's been on. So,
yep. But we probably have a surprise for our live schedule this month.
Why?
The 20, what is it, 22nd, 23rd, that Monday?
Oh yeah. Let's not give it away yet.
No.
No, it's just gonna be
Boom.
yeah, it's just gonna be there. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
So Professor Corvette says still no David emoticon. David,
Right. I
I
don't know if I'm into taking naked pictures
I
and
was just
sending
gonna
them to
say
my friends like Brandon does, but
I was gonna say I need you to get out of the shower. Take a snap a selfie. Actually, you know what? I have one spot left for an emoji, so maybe I should get a good one of you, David. Give me like some
I
crazy
will.
face or something.
I'll send you one.
While here's a good one. While you're in the middle of having someone's chest ripped open, just be like snap a selfie. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'll be like,
I'll tell you what. That would be a great selfie, but I just don't think you should do that.
no.
All right, so
Ideas from the comment section would be good too. So
yeah, guys, I have one emoji spot left with the amount of members that I have, and that number of emojis increases based on the amount of members we have. So as the members go up, the emojis will continue to go up. But for now, we got one spot left. What should it be? Do you want it to be David? And if it is, what should he be doing? Let's try to keep this PG because I already know somebody's going to spout out something really ridiculous. Let's keep it PG.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Gordon, I got you in for 20 entries. Thank you, Gordon.
Hey, Gordon.
Okay. Jay, I got. I think that you said that was Jay's girlfriend. Yeah. Okay. I got Casey in for one entry. All right. So again, guys, if you are just now joining, please smash the thumbs up button. Let's get the thumbs ups going. We want to hit 100 by 8 o'clock. We started a little late tonight, so we actually have roughly 15 minutes or so to hit that number. So please smash the thumbs up button, guys. It really helps out the channel. We're going to be talking about a lot of really cool C8 Corvette news tonight. We're also going to be giving away 2 really cool items. Like I said, CarPlay Box Ultra, which is going to allow you to play Netflix, Disney Plus, Spotify, YouTube, all kinds of stuff right to your infotainment system in the car. And the Scrape Armor Radiator Grill Guards for the side intakes on the car. Now, why this is cool? Because Scrape Armor is actually not even shipping these things to the end user until middle to late January. So if you win them here, you're going to get them earlier, first off. Second, you're going to get them for far less than the $700 that it would normally cost you. So you are absolutely going to be able to get these things earlier than anybody else. I have mine already, so I can proudly say that I'm the first one to have these, but you could be the second. Oh, man. That would be cool.
I thought you were the first ones. I told Nate that the other day when he was at my house. I was like, I think Justin's was the first set.
Yeah, nobody has a set yet. Literally,
yeah,
no.
exactly.
No. So, did we get... Steve Robertson looks like another $100. So, Steve, where are you at then? Okay, you're at 41 entries. Steve Robertson is really climbing the ladder there. Yeah, he does. He does. Steve, you're definitely in the lead at this point. So, guys, like I said, we're going to be doing 2 separate giveaways tonight. So the first one to win gets to choose which item they want. The second one is going to get whatever the first one didn't choose. So 2 winners tonight. Squirrel Cage Garage says, David, what do you do for a living?
Cardiac surgery ICU. So they come out of the OR and I get them all settled in, and that's what I do.
Nice. So he literally, he could take a selfie with somebody's ribcage cracked open in front of him.
Oh, I do have video of it. Yeah, but yeah, not for sure outside of work. Sure.
100%. I was going to say we do not want to. That would be horrible exactly. To see something go wrong with that. But so for those of you guys who are members and you don't know how to use the emojis, I'm not sure if there are any out there that don't, but over on the chat, on the far right of the chat bubble, there's a little smiley face. It looks like if you click that, it has the specific horsepower obsessed emojis right above it. So This Monday, we'll say, is a weird Monday because there was actually 5 Mondays in December. So December was sponsored by Solar Performance, but since this is the 5th Monday, this one isn't really sponsored by anybody. I guess kind of Scrape Armor, kind of Carplay Box Ultra. I guess they're both kind of sponsoring this one for the giveaway portion of it, but there's not an official sponsor. If you look in those emojis, though, let me know what the next emoji you guys want to see is. The only one that is a rotating emoji is going to be the sponsor of the month. I'm going to always rotate that with their particular logo. But other than that, I'm open to whatever. And I do think David should have one of his own, and he will eventually. Because I have one, Brandon has. Yeah, it pretty much has to be David.
Yeah, I'll get you one.
But you got me.
Put like my face like right behind Brandon's face.
Yeah. You got me in a thinking pose, which is good for.
I like yours.
Yeah. Then you got David or Brandon in kind of a shocked form. We'll say. I don't really know what that face is supposed to be. We'll just say he's kind of shocked. What do you want? What do you want David to be doing? Like I said, let's keep it PG.
Lord.
But okay. So it looks like we're caught up.
Actually, Clay. Yes, EFMB, but I always want my CFMB after my EFMB. And if you know, you know.
It's like you're speaking a different language in here, guys.
We are.
James Middleton.
Clay knows what I'm talking about.
James, I got you in for an entry. Thank you. Thank you guys, everybody who's donated so far. Thank you. If you're going to want to keep going, these things are expensive tonight, but they are really cool giveaways, and they are going to end tonight. So, yeah, get in there, win these things together. Ooh, that's a good idea. Red C806 says make one with all 3 faces together. That's a good idea, but that's going to be difficult because the emojis are so tiny. So
yeah, we have a couple of good pictures that we were going to try to do t-shirt where we took it Carlisle that we're going to do that look good, but
we're still going to do.
Look right on just a tiny little emoji.
We still need to do it. Oh, look at this. First entry that actually wants the Carplay Box Ultra and not the Scrape Armor.
Nice.
Aaron, AARPM. All right. Aaron, I got you in actually for 11 entries because you have a free one because you're a member as well. So
Professor Corvette said I should do it the opposite way of you so we can put them together and stare at each other.
That's a good idea.
You guys kill me, man. You guys are great.
Professor Corvette always has the best comments because he was the one that said earlier that your audio gets 1 Brandon. Like,
exactly. It's so great.
Well, let me ask you this, Professor Corvette, how many Brandons is like an A+? Like, are we doing a 10 out of 10, 100? What is the scale of Brandons here? Just so we're all on the same page. Oh God.
I love how we have a Brandon scale now.
Yeah. Well, that's what he turned it into that.
Content stream too. A Brandon scale is going to make it into
Squirrel Cage Garage. This is possibly one of the grossest things I've ever heard. He says, use an AI generator to combine all 3 of your faces into one face and make that an emoji. I'm picturing, right off the top of my head, I'm picturing the movie The Fly. I'm sure you've seen it, David, but just put all 3 of us in one pod and transfer it over to the, oh man, that's god awful. I don't even want to,
that would be bad.
Okay, so now we know. It's a scale of 5.
5 Brandons.
5 Brandons is the highest, the most acclaimed edition of Brandon. So any less than 5 is not perfect.
Love that.
He says the Zora might get 6 Brandons. So there is some flexibility to this scale, apparently.
Right. It's not immutable.
Yeah.
We can move it.
All right, guys. So smash the thumbs up button. We got a couple more minutes to hit our goal of 100 thumbs ups. We're going to be talking about some Corvette news here in 1 second, but we are giving away some cool stuff tonight. Again, Scrape Armor Radiator Grill Guards for the E-Ray Z06, the side intakes. So these are the brand new ones that no one has except for me. And then the CarPlay Box Ultra, which allows you to watch Netflix and stuff in your car. So those are the 2 items. There are going to be 2 separate giveaways tonight. Make sure you get entered to win. Yeah, that would be 5 Brandons would be a lot of tinkering. Can you imagine he just did the lift in his that's actually not bad. Mark Cutsy says Justin's hair, David's beard, Brandon's face.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm picturing that. That might be a very nice looking individual. I will use right facing David, then a Brandon, then a Justin. So the two are staring at Brandon. Oh god. Yeah, we can face each other and laugh like Beavis and Butthead, be like,
Exactly.
and you're like,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
even imagine 5 Brandons running around, dude. I can't even. The problem is Brandon likes to do Brandon stuff. So this is like you guys don't know Brandon as so if you had 5 Brandons in that garage working at the same time,
Oh my
okay,
god.
Brandon doesn't want help from the other Brandon. So all 5 Brandons are going to be doing individually their own thing. I know you're laughing right now, Brandon, because you know it's true that you would all of them would be doing separate things, and it would take just as long to get it all done because you would all be doing separate things. It would get done.
Yeah.
But you know I'm right, man.
So if we were able to get 5 Brandons, I get at least one. I need one up here.
Yeah.
You can have yours still down there. I need one here.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people could use other ones.
We can rent them out.
Yeah, TP for my bunghole. Dude, I used to love Beavis and Butthead. I loved that show.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right.
It is true, Brandon. It's so true, dude.
Let's see. We got another entry here from David Bright. $10 entry, so he gets 1 entry. David Bright. All right. Let's talk a little bit of news here because some of the stuff I wanted to talk about tonight is interesting. Now, initially, I was going to make this upload very, very, very E-Ray heavy, but I knew... I don't remember his name now, but there's one of my subscribers that's always on the live. I knew he was going to get me because he's constantly talking about how I hate the E-Ray, and I don't, but he just... No, not Nate. It's not Nate. It's someone who gets Nate going. No, it's like the guy who's like poking at him. He's like, hey, I don't think Justin likes the E-Ray. And then it's just like this explosion of back and forth that happens between the two. But what happened is I actually have 2 really cool things to talk about with the E-Ray. And I was like, okay, this is going to be an E-Ray episode. Then all of a sudden I came across this article from Motor One, where Chevy, the new guy there, basically, that replaced Taj, Tony Roma, sat down and was talking about how we're maybe going to see an all-electric vehicle, all-electric Corvette, or maybe we're not. And there's this very specific way that we will. And honestly, it's the best way I've heard yet. So in the meantime, guys, let's smash those thumbs up buttons. We're going to be talking about some news here in a second.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, Brandon brought up a good point, man. Has anybody been following Corey's E-Ray? Dude, he does so much at that car in a month. I mean, crazy.
Yep. Yeah, he's done a lot. And you know what's funny is that I'm watching what he's doing, and I was like, you know who he reminds me of? Me.
Who's that?
Me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whenever I first got
I know he had to have most of that waiting, man. He had to because.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mine. Whenever I bought my car, I had a month to get it ready for Carlisle, and I knew it had to have the Z07 package on it already. It had to be lowered, and it had to be window tinted, expelled, ceramic coated, and I got all of this stuff done in less than a month. And there was even more than that. I had the scrape armor radiator grill guards put on. I had the sequential side view mirrors put in. Oh God, there's a lot of other things, but
you didn't go luggage rack though.
No,
went like full luggage rack. I was like, good on him.
That is an interesting. I'll tell you what. I'll put it to you this way: he is doing something that no one else with a C8 Corvette has done yet.
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm actually loving it.
It's
put like not even just he put like real like off-road kind of like winter tires on it, like on the wheels and everything. It's awesome, dude. I love it.
All right, guys. So let's keep hitting those thumbs ups. We're almost at 100. That's awesome. We're if we can do it in the next 2 minutes, we're on schedule. So let's smash the thumbs ups. In the meantime, let's do. Yeah, Corvette guy says you all lost me at the ski rack. LOL. It's not my thing either. I'm sure.
It's not mine, but
I was gonna say I'm sure I speak for most people when I say it's not my thing, but the fact that he's doing something different is what. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, I was like, good on you, Corey.
Yep. So let's check this out, guys. The Motor One article here. Like I said, I like the approach to this because the title by itself is just gold. It's coming from Chevy, it says, we're not dumb enough to rush the Corvette onto the EV bandwagon. Well said, Chief Engineer Tony Roma. So he says the only way it's going to happen is there has to be a need and a want. And I'll tell you what, I think I speak for the majority of people in the chat here when we say there really isn't a want. I don't know that there really is a need either. I think the furthest Chevy should push the Corvette into the EV territory has already been done with the E-Ray. A hybrid, performance hybrid, is the only way that any of the Corvette guys are going to accept it. I don't know. I'm not sure if I could find a Corvette guy who would accept a full EV Corvette. And that's...
Brandon would.
Do you think he would?
Yep. Brandon would. He's got a Plaid. His wife's got a Model 3 Performance.
But to call it a Corvette still and have it be full electric. All right, Brandon.
Let us know, Brandon. In the comments.
Brandon says no and no. He says no and no.
Really?
So
no and no.
Professor Corvette, tell me, in your opinion, how many Brandons does a full electric Corvette get? Nope, he said the same thing, not for a Corvette. I need to know.
The thing is, though, so if we play it out, right? You said the need and the want, right? That's what Roma said. Okay, the need and the want. Where is the need? So you figure the Plaid that had been the fastest car in the world for how long, right? With a rollout was 2 seconds, basically, whatever. Look what the ZR1's doing without hybrid assistance, without all-wheel drive, where if you hybrid the ZR1, you're going to be down in that Plaid territory anyway. I mean, there's no need to it. And the E-Ray's a freaking monster, dude. Like there's just, like you said, there's no need to go full EV because you lose a lot of the other stuff that you would get with the turbos, the gas engine, the range, all that stuff.
Professor Corvette says -1 Brandons for the EV.
You owe me a Brandon.
Yeah, that's saying something. We can't afford to give you a Brandon. We only have one.
That's right. There is only one Brandon.
So seriously though, I totally agree. I think if and this is a big if Chevy is able to actually put out the ZR1 and have it give us 2.3 0 to 60 times without like crazy wheel spin, which that's still to be seen. If they can do that, then yeah, I agree. There is no need for full electric because number one, we're already getting 1,000 horsepower. Which is the big claim to fame with the Plaid is that it's 1,000 horsepower, but we're already getting that. We're doing it without all-wheel drive. So imagine if they get 2.3 and it's successfully 2.3 consistently. Imagine what it is with that hybrid motor up front.
Exactly. And Brandon just pointed out a good point. Like you're already going to beat a Plaid or that type of caliber car from a roll in the ZR1 all day long, every day. When those turbos come in, that's it. Because that's the thing about the Plaid. If you ever ridden one, that initial hit is awesome, but it's a linear pull from there. The turbos are exponential.
Yep,
once that boost starts running, it just keeps pulling, baby.
Those things, those are gonna be crazy. I mean, once they go full boost, you are going to be pushed into your seat harder than anything you've ever experienced.
It's gonna be amazing.
Black Blue
5 Brandons.
Black Blue 71. Thank you for the super chat. LT4 Powered says that he would give the full EV 5 Mary Barras.
We do not need that emoji.
No, that emoji is not coming. I would not even accept that as an option.
Right.
And that's the thing is, just like Mr. T here says, and David, go ahead and tell me what that name says again.
Thiocyanocarbazide.
Can you say it slower?
Thiocyanocarbazide.
All right. So he says 911s won't be full EV for at least 10 years, says Porsche. I would say we are at least 10 years away from making a car that is fully electric that doesn't have the downfalls of fully electric cars that they do today. So charging issues. I mean, as of now, the grid, we already know the story. The grid can't handle a mass influx of chargeable cars, especially during the summertime when people are running AC, blah, blah, blah. The infrastructure can't handle it. It takes too long to charge. The battery life degrades too much. The price just drops like a brick on EV cars.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insane. There was a YouTuber, and I wish I would have saved this now, YouTuber that bought a Plaid in 2022, took it in 2024 after 2 years of ownership to Tesla to see if they'd buy it back. He bought the Plaid. It was $140 some thousand. Tesla offered him $68,000 after 2 years and 30,000 miles.
Just the brand new price, they went from 1 teens to 89.9, I think is like the actual MSRP on them now.
Yeah, they keep
the base price. They just keep dropping the base price. Yep. So it's like, because I know when Brandon bought his, he got his used, he got a pretty good deal on it, somewhere, I don't know, 90 or something like that. But then like literally the next year you could get a brand new one for almost the same price. But that's Brandon's beef too, is that the EV depreciation is crazy. I mean, if you're in the market for an EV, get one that's 2 years old. You can get a Plaid now for 60s, mid 60s, for a Plaid that's got some miles on it. It's a couple years old.
That's pretty crazy. But let's look at why though. So even Brandon said he lost $30K in 3 months on his Plaid. $30,000 in 3 months. Now, it is typical that you buy a brand new car and the second you drive it off the lot, you've lost some value. That's just normal dealership happenings. But with the way the batteries are set up, the biggest reason people are scared to buy secondhand electric cars is because you don't know. Like, that battery could have 30% life left, or it could have 90%. Like, even if you do know, how much does it really have left? You know what I mean? Like the battery technology is not there yet. And that's why the resale drops so bad, is because if you own that thing for even 3 months like Brandon did, you're going to lose so much money, because when you go to sell it now, that is now a used EV, and people are even more scared of those than EVs in general.
Well, you know, and for most car guys, you know, I know I'm the same way, you know, and Brandon owns EVs and he says the same thing. You can't really tinker with them. You can't really mod them, right? That's a big down for us. Hey, thumbs up. That's a big down for us, right? The other thing is, you know, as the battery degrades, I mean, you lose performance over time that you can do nothing about. You can't recoup that performance. Yep. You know, it's gonna continue to drop. You know, and I can't remember what he's after, whatever he said, but it's like a 10th or 2/10 drop. It's enough.
It's sizable, right?
Yeah, it's significant. Yeah,
and
I mean, it's still fast. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But you're not going to get that with a Z01. You're not going to get that with a Z06. You don't get that with the with the E-Ray.
Professor Corvette says it's like a cell phone, and that's the crazy part, is that it's more like a cell phone than anything, because if you like my cell phones, I mind the battery technology part of it. So I'm not using it while it's plugged in, overheating it, or putting it in super cold positions, because when you do that, you're going to kill the battery more. Those are things you can't really mind as much on a car. Like, sometimes it's going to be in the cold, sometimes it's going to be in the extreme heat. These are things that you can't really necessarily drive around, so to speak. So the battery is going to die at a different rate than what your cell phone does, because you can mind it on your cell phone, but you really can't on the car. You can mind how often it's charged and to what percentage it's charged to, but heat-wise, you can't really, unless you're willing to just sit at home all the time if it's hot outside. Like, it's just not going to work the same. Micah, it wasn't Vehicle Virgins. It was some smaller YouTuber, but it wasn't him.
And you know, hybrid technology is just getting better and better and better. You know what I mean? Like, that's the middle ground that I think is really good. Even the E-Ray made me a believer from the Corvette side of things, like how good they can really do that, right? Like, I mean, it really did.
It's because the hybrid setup of the E-Ray doesn't really need much. If honestly, it could get away with almost none actual battery capacity, because what it's there for is a performance boost. So if it's done correctly, and I mean, Chevy could have even done it differently on their E-Ray. It provides a boost, and then it goes, okay, I'm out. Like, and then it gives all the rest of it to the engine. But it gave you that boost where now it was all-wheel drive for the launch. Maybe it boosts you up. I think the E-Ray even cuts off at some speed. I never remember what it is. But eventually that the front motor stops operating, because at that point, it's actually not assisting performance anymore. It's all on the rear wheels now. So we really only need it for launching and certain cornering things. And I bet you eventually performance hybrids get to the point where they're able to turn on and turn off certain wheels during certain turns and certain things during braking. And I mean, it's going to get to the point where hybrid is where you want to be.
Yep.
But Jay Yeah, Jay asked where I got my wheels from. David and I both actually got our wheels from Forge Light. So
Yep.
Forge Light without a D. You don't want to take the D on this one. Trust me. Forge Light, no D. And if you mention HPO, you'll save $250 off of the set. And they are, I'll let David speak for you too. Very, very, very high quality wheels.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I've spent big money on wheels before, but I'm gonna tell you these are the best wheels I've ever bought from a quality standpoint. I mean, the run out, the way that you get the QC sticker on the wheel, like what they
Yeah.
that is hand checked. They've done all the QC on your video where you went through the everything they checked
Yeah.
was that sold the wheel for me. I was like, because I had met him at Carlisle, and I was like, see, I like your wheel, I like your design. Maybe you can make me a real lightweight wheel. But when I saw your video of all their QC, I was sold, man.
Yep. Yeah, that is the difference. And people ask me all the
Yeah.
time, like, what's the difference with these? Like, why are they better? It is the quality control, the runouts, the checklist that they go through to make sure that wheel you're getting.
Crazy.
This is the first wheel, and I said this in my videos, the first wheel that I've ever had that I did not have to road force balance to make sure that I didn't get a vibration above 80 miles an hour. Every other wheel, even the stock wheels on my C701, 80 miles an hour plus, the whole car would vibrate a little bit unless they were road force balanced. The Forge Light wheels, I did not have to road force balance them, and luckily I didn't, because I'm not sure, I didn't notice on yours, Brent, if you have the knurling on the inside, it stops the tire from spinning on the wheel.
Correct.
With that, it's really hard to road force balance because they have to actually spin the tire on the wheel, and they can't do it because of that knurling. So
Right.
he told me, he's like, listen, I've already broke 3 different tools trying to do this. He's like, so we're just going to not road force balance them until we get basically the proper tools for it. And I said, that's fine. If I have a problem, I'll just come back. Never had a problem because they're already so perfectly round and weighted perfectly where it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I didn't have to road force balance them either. And they were nice enough. They went through. I went and I have my DBM Racing in red, my Edge red on my center caps. So they were nice enough to do that.
Oh,
So.
Brandon's Garage. This is a great comment. He says that he has the Forge Light with a D, and they aren't very good quality. That's interesting. I would like.
Which ones are your Forged Light? Which ones? Oh, the drag ones that you bought for the back, I think, are Forged Light.
Oh yeah, the ones that look like I think those
like this,
like a C701
almost
wheel.
spiderish.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah. I think those are the ones.
David, might not be a bad idea for you two to get together and compare the quality of those wheels. Like,
We can do that.
Compare, because I mean, he bought his, you bought yours. Compare them together. Give the people what they want, because I hear a lot the battle between Forged Light, and I personally love the Forged Light without a D. I think the quality is much better, but it's going to look a certain way whenever I'm talking about that, because I did get my wheels for free. So they do not pay me for anything, but they did give me my wheels for free for the channel. David, however, paid for his wheels. So there is no bias here. And I'm never biased, even if I do get a free product. I have returned so many free products, it's not even funny. If the free product I'm getting is garbage, it's going back. I don't care if it was free or not.
Yeah, no, I can do that for sure. I just the quality on these wheels though is literally insane. And I actually talked with Joshua, and we basically we did a track grind where we ground out even more aluminum to make it about the same strength as the factory carbon fiber wheels, and then we shaved a couple pounds off of each one even more. It was a pretty big difference.
I meant to ask you, actually, did you see somebody on the let me pull it up here. The Corvette forum actually officially weighed the carbon fiber wheels and got us finally an official weight.
Somebody actually weighed them.
Someone actually weighed them.
Specs.
Yep.
I'm surprised Jeremy hasn't done that yet.
The total weight and I wrote it all down because I wanted to send this to you. Carbon fiber wheels, the rear wheel weighed 23.3. And the front weighed 19.8. So the total was he weighed all 4 wheels, and there was a couple ounces between them, but the total was 86.48 pounds. So you are literally 9 pounds heavier than the carbon fiber, while being significantly stronger.
Nice. Well, and two, my fronts came in at, I think, 20. So my fronts are right on with the carbon, but I have such a bigger offset than those factory carbon. There's a lot more meat on the back end. That's a lot wider wheel.
Yeah.
From the offset standpoint, there's a lot more material, but That's awesome, man. I tell you, there's a difference. I can't wait to get out and do my 60 to 130 times. It's been raining for a week here. I want to do 60 to 130s now that I got the new wheels on. But yeah, we'll show you the quality. I couldn't remember which ones because Brandon, your other ones are the BC Forge ones. I like your BC Forge, Brandon. Those are nice.
Wheeler O'Hara says, "Hey guys, I showed up late. Did we already have the guest for the warranty spiel? We did not. So I have a person who's going to come on and talk about the extended warranties, and it's a person from a dealership aspect that can speak to the actual quality of it, stuff like that. The problem is there's some logistics involved where her company is not going to allow her to just come on here willy-nilly without knowing what questions are going to be asked first. So what we're going to do here, if you're watching it live or if you're watching it after the fact, specifically after the fact, if you could, comment on this video and tell me what questions you would be interested in asking somebody that can answer, from within about extended warranties. We have to have the answers clarified with HR and all kinds of different stuff. There's a lot of hoops to jump through on this thing, but I want to get you guys the answers. And honestly, I want some of these answers. So I'll have my own questions to throw in there as well. But if you guys have anything specific you want to ask, comment on this video after it's live. Don't do it now because I'll totally forget what you put in here. And for some reason, I can't access the live chat after the video is not live anymore. That was a lot, but let's see. We got any more entries? No more entries yet, guys. So if you are interested in winning one of these things, we're going to be drawing in about 20 to 25 minutes. We're going to be drawing a winner. So two winners. Yeah. Let me know. Every $10 is an entry, guys. Be sure to get in on this. Yeah, Jay, I've heard some stuff about MRR. The MRR wheels, the best way to put those is economy. They're not bad wheels at all by any means.
Yeah, they're like middle of the road.
They're like middle of the road. You're going to pay less, but you're not getting quite as good quality as you. Basically, Forge Light is the top. Anything other than Forge Light without a D is going to be lesser in quality, but it's also going to be cheaper. So you get what you pay for, kind of thing.
But the whole process too, where they send you your render and then they update you as it's going through the build process, and it was actually a great process. I know Brandon's been trying to build some magnesium wheels and some other things, and he's going through the process with some of the companies now. But it's just getting the offset and then trying to find who has the right answers and who this and what are the information you get from Forge Light from start to finish. I mean, even if there's a question, Joshua was like, hold on, let me get to the engineer.
I was going to say, that's the big...
engineer came back and was like, yeah, we can do X, Y, Z. We can. And it's awesome.
That's the big thing with them is Josh is just such a cool dude. Like you never feel like you're bothering them, even though like, I think I said in my video, whenever I first started to look into Forge Light wheels, I went back and forth with him on, it was about a month on what color I wanted, what style I wanted, how the offset was going to look. Like I was back and forth. And meanwhile,
we did the same thing. And then it was funny because towards the end when we were working on how to do the logo, where to do the logo, whatever, he was the one that actually was coming up like different. He was like, you know what, why not just do that? Because I was going to do it on the side of the rim. And then Josh was like, why don't you just do it on the center cap? We can make it bigger for you. And we'll send you the competition set. So that way, if you ever wanted to sell, you could keep, it wouldn't have DBM racing on it.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. So, I mean, those were Josh's ideas. They weren't even mine. So he was very helpful in getting those done. So.
Yep. Wheeler O'Hara, that's good. Yeah. If you send me an email, I can get that measurement for you. Texas Clay says, Justin, I hear people talking about two-piece wheels. What is the advantage of a two-piece wheel? I will tell you that the advantage used to be that you could make them lighter weight. But now, honestly, two-piece wheels are usually heavier now. And I was just talking to somebody about this. One of my subscribers was emailing me about what wheels to get. And they were talking about how two-piece wheels actually, if you get a 21-inch wheel, but it's a two-piece, it looks physically smaller than the one-piece 21-inch wheel. It's just because the way that they're put together, the barrels come down a little bit more on the inside, and it makes the whole wheel look smaller. So really, in my experience, my opinion, don't get a two-piece wheel. Just stick with the one piece. The two piece, the only car
now the way they have, the way they can like out of one block of billet, they can mill out a wheel. Like it doesn't make sense to do two-piece wheels anymore. It just doesn't.
The only vehicle I've ever seen a two-piece wheel look good on is a truck. a truck looks good with like the rivets on the outside of the wheels and stuff. For the most part, cars don't look right with that stuff, in my opinion. And of course, your
I don't know.
mileage
I
may
mean,
vary.
Harold, the guy that passed, Harold's two-piece wheels look pretty banging.
Yeah, they did. And
On
that's what I mean.
Venom,
There's exceptions to every rule, but
yeah,
even with that
they look
said,
pretty banging.
they looked great, but they were heavy.
But they were heavy.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
if
he
you,
would tell you that they were super heavy.
yep,
Yeah.
if you want a quality performance wheel, it's almost never a two-piece wheel anymore. It used to be, but it's not anymore.
Yeah, and again, too, guys, like there's so many options out there. I mean, like BC Forge is a great. I mean, it's again, it's kind of that middle of the road. But I've had multiple BC Forge wheels on other vehicles, and I've never had a problem with BC Forge wheels. So, again, it's just next level attention to detail on certain things and quality that I felt like I got from the Forge like that. And I pay, like I said, Justin, I pay for mine.
Yep.
Justin got his, but I'm telling you from a customer standpoint.
Well, let me ask you this, David. Did you
Yeah.
use the HPO discount code?
Actually, he gave me the discount without the discount code, but it was the same thing because you introduced me at Carlisle.
Okay.
'Cause he was in your booth.
So Brobarian, I love the name by the way. The Brobarian says, fascinating
Brobarian.
thumbnail. I had to click it. This is something I don't necessarily talk about this as often as I probably should. This is something that kind of flies under the radar usually. So we do these lives every Monday night. The amount of work that goes into setting this up, the amount of work that goes into maintaining it is incredible. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love every second of it, but I put a lot of work into these live videos, and the thumbnail is no exception. Every thumbnail I try to make as captivating as possible, while at the same time telling you kind of what we're going to talk about on the live video. It is a lot of work. I mean, even getting David on here tonight, we had a little bit of an issue with his audio, and it's like when that happens, I got to think fast. I got to do it quick because we only have about 10 minutes to mess with before we're going live. So a lot of this stuff is a lot of work, and I love every second of it with you guys because you guys really make it fun. But at the same time, it is a lot of work, just so we're all on the same page here.
All of it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, David
really
and Brandon both have a full-time job, so getting them on here whenever they can get on, it is always appreciated on my side. I'm sure it is on everybody in the chat too, because they have real full-time jobs, and I mean, they're not even necessarily full-time jobs. They're like more than full-time jobs. I mean, David literally was gone pretty much for the entire month of December, so he is
pretty
working
much the entire month. Yeah. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the Instagram reels, the YouTube channel in general, the live, honestly, the live videos, I probably put more work into the live videos than I do anything else on YouTube, and I make the least amount of money on the live videos. So it's like, it's not a money thing for me. It never really was. When I first started my YouTube channel, I wanted to make it about sharing the passion, and that's what drives this whole thing. So yeah, it's gotten to the point now for me where YouTube is my full-time job. So obviously, money is involved to some degree, but the live videos, I knew from the very beginning I wasn't going to make a lot of money on them, but it was to build a community. I don't care about the rest.
Yeah. Well, but it comes across, it really does, Justin. I mean, I'm not just saying that, but it does come across that it's a passion and not just money. There's some lives, like there are plenty of people that do live streams.
Yeah.
And you watch them and you click on them and you're like, man, like this is just going through the motions. This is just, signing a check is what it is basically. So.
Oh, Professor Corvette gives me
HBO got 5 Brandons.
5 Brandons. Sweet. Thank you,
Look at
Professor
that.
Corvette. Jay Brazelton gave me 4 Z06s. I'm not, let's be honest. I think the Z06s are worth more money. You can't sell a Brandon. Not yet, at least. If it keeps going the way that we're going here with these emojis, it might be possible someday. But yeah, Brandon himself gives me 5 Brandons. That's technically 6 Brandons then, right?
That's right.
I want my channel to help get, Brobarian, and that's before my YouTube channel. The ZR1 I have sitting back here, well, it's not really there, but the picture, that's my ZR1. That would have never happened. Before my YouTube channel, my C8 Z06 would have never happened. I never talked a whole lot about this, and I do plan on making a video about this someday. But what I did for a living before YouTube, I did not make any money doing what I did. And now that I'm making more money on YouTube than I ever have doing anything I've ever done before, this is a new thing for me. So being able to actually buy the cars and stuff that I want, this isn't something I've always been able to do. I mean, I don't know. I know David doing what he does, he makes a good bit of money, but whenever I was working off of YouTube, the highest amount of money I ever made was $40,000 in a year.
Well, and it's funny because when you compare, and Brandon and I talk about this all the time, what earning potential per hour or per time spent or however you want to do it, like
Yeah.
what I would do if I just worked my butt off versus the amount of time and energy I put into doing videos and content and all this stuff. And, being very fledgling and, a young channel where, the return isn't very much at all, but it's just like, it's a passion. It's something I like to do. I'm always like, hey man, what can I do next? What video can I do next? Or, ooh, that would be a great video. Or, ooh, this would make good content.
And this is why
you get all amped up about it.
This is exactly why, mark my words, we can come back to this video in a couple years. This is exactly why your channel will be successful, because what you're telling me is the exact same thing I felt whenever I started mine. I was literally itching to do the next video, because it's like, what else can I do? Like the very first video I did that I realized this is what YouTube is for was when I talked about my C7 Z06, how I found the options that I wanted, what options you wanted to look at to get, like there was so many options for the car that it blew my freaking mind. It was like, if you chose this option, you couldn't have this, but if you chose that, you couldn't have that. I went through the entire list and talked to people about how to build the car in the same way that I did. That way I could save you the month that it took me to figure out how to build this thing.
Right.
And that's what it was.
Right. Well, and anything I put on and we review or whatever else, I mean, especially in Brandon the same way, like, we're buying this stuff and we're doing it just to tell you whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Or, give you an idea of what it looks like on the car.
Yep.
But Brandon, I mean, it's a grind. I mean, to get with, I mean, like click on Justin's channel info if you have any doubt whatsoever. 10 years, thousands of over 1,000 videos, how many live streams. I mean, it's a grind. And some of the best advice I got starting this was from Justin, where I was like emailing him, hey, can I ask you a question? Yeah, sure. He answered my question. Justin's advice really was, just keep doing what you're doing, but do it in front of a camera.
Yep.
Like, if that's your passion, and that was the best advice anybody gave me as far as trying to get this started. Again, I mean, I'm not super successful. I'm working on it and I'm grinding it, but it's a hustle, man. And it's a grind, and it's designed that way.
Yep.
And
yeah, if it was easy, everybody'd be doing it.
Exactly. And Justin was like, hey, just do what you do and just do it in front of a camera. He's like, you'll get better at everything. And if you go back and no shade I'm throwing on you, Justin, but look at his early videos. I've been watching his channel for years.
Yeah, it was not
the
good.
The difference between the polish that he has now and when he was younger, I mean, everybody starts somewhere, right?
Well, I'll tell you, the very first video I have on my YouTube channel, the very first one I ever put out, that was the first time I ever edited a video in my entire life. I had no experience with video editing, no experience with taking a picture and designing a thumbnail. I had no experience with any of it. I just tried it one day and said, hey, let's see what happens.
Well, and you were like, in this, look, guys, you guys don't know Justin behind the scenes like we do. Okay, this is the kind of guy Justin is. I'm gonna put you out there a little bit, Justin. I emailed, was like, hey man, I've got some questions. I don't know how this crap works. I've got all this stuff, like I'm getting all these things from Google and YouTube and all stuff, and like how to do this and how. I was like, can I just take you to lunch, buy you lunch, and pick your brain? And he was like, sure. I mean, we had chatted a little bit, email, text, whatever, with that. And we went to lunch, boom, done. I'm asking questions. He's just like, hey, this is my advice. You should do this. You should do this. Don't do this. Do this. Be careful of this. Watch out for this. Yep. I mean, he didn't really know me, guys. And he sat down and just was willing to just give me all the advice that had come from his hard work over the years and the lessons he learned both the hard way and the easy way. And you just don't meet people like that. And that's why Brandon and I are so supportive of Justin, because he's just that kind of guy. You guys don't get to see that as much as we do. It does come across, but you guys don't get to see that. I mean, he's a really good dude, and that's why we support him as hard as we do.
You're gonna make me cry, David.
You should cry, man.
You should, yeah. Get some views on this video. No, but seriously, there are a lot of hard lessons to learn, and unfortunately, a lot of those hard lessons come in the shape of other people that you can or can't trust, and it's a real shame. I told David from the very beginning, YouTube is not it should not be a competitive place. It doesn't have to be. People can subscribe to more than one person, so if they're subscribing to me, it's not like I have to hate on you so they don't subscribe to you too, because they can subscribe to both of us. It doesn't have to be competitive. But 10 Second Eclipse says that The reason why I got into YouTube is because I'm horsepower obsessed.
Right. Well, and it comes through. Your passion comes through, but also too, I mean, like, what our synergy, kind of how we work. We're all just like regular car. People may not believe this, you guys know, but if you see us at the events, these are the conversations that Brandon and Justin and I
Mm.
have offline all the time. Text conversations, phone conversations. Like this is how we talk. We're all about cars. Or hey, did you see this mod? Or I'm
Yeah.
gonna do this mod. Or wait till you see what's coming. Or I'm buying these wheels. Or we're about to put nitrous on Brandon's
Yeah.
C06.
Well,
Like,
it's funny because we have a group chat, and like if we start texting in this group chat, I'll set my phone off to the side, and it will just like be like doo 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 doo, like just constant text messages because just people talking car stuff. I mean, that's where
Yep.
the idea of these live videos came from. It's like, you know what? Everything we just discussed for the last hour on the phone, we should have done that on YouTube, because this is stuff that other people need to hear too.
Right. And you get to see from our technical stuff and like us trying stuff, right? Some of the stuff that, we were learning when we were getting Brandon's car, ready to try to, make the record hits and stuff. I mean, you guys can learn along with us. We're figuring this out just like you guys are. We don't know. I mean, we're figuring it out. There's no roadmap for this. So, come along on the journey for sure.
Yeah. All right. So I guess somebody said, Jim Middleton says, Justin, you need to make a video on how to make a video. Oh man. Yeah. All right. So yeah, guys, I appreciate all the positive words, of course, but let's get back to the brass tacks here. So we got 125 thumbs up, 127 now, guys. Let's keep going with the thumbs ups. Again, giveaway is ending here tonight, within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So if you guys want to get in on that, make sure you get in now. Super chats are accepted. So if you want to donate through super chat, you can do that too. $10 is an entry. $50 or more is double entries. And we're giving away two things tonight: scrape armor radiator grill guards for the side intakes on the E-Ray and Z06, and the CarPlay Box Ultra, which will allow you to watch TV and stuff on your infotainment system in your car 2017 or newer. 10-second Z06 said, that's why I support as much as I can. HPO is a quality dude, for real. He helped me get my Z06 too. I helped a couple people get their Z06s, and that is, trust me, I know it doesn't necessarily come off this way, but that is possibly the highest praise someone can give, is allowing me to help you get a car.
Right.
I loved every second of that. So between 10-second Z06 and a couple of the other people in the chat, I helped as much as I could, and it's because I enjoyed every second of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned about seeing us at the bash. Yes, we are going to be at the bash again. I think it was Jay. Yeah, we are going to be at the bash again
Yeah.
this year.
So Jay, I've been chatting with Jay back and forth a lot about that, because he wants to be like parked with us, and I told him you'll have a spot right there if we're there. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going yet. I would say I'm like 95%, but actually I am 100% sure I'll be there. I just don't know if my car will be. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring my car this year or not. But
yeah, we'll definitely be there.
You bringing your car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then maybe
Yeah.
I might have to as well then. So yeah, Scrape Armor gives 20% off to veterans. That's a great company. 100%. Scrape Armor is one of the best companies I've worked with. They care about their parts more than any company I've ever worked with before. I mean, whoever wins the side intake grill guards, when you open that box, you are immediately going to be presented with something that you're going to know without a doubt. These guys care, because just the packaging alone, they could easily take these grill guards and throw them in a box and send them off to you. They want the unboxing thing to be an experience. They don't want you to just open up and say, okay, there's my stuff. It is a really nice looking stuff.
Nice.
Professor Corvette says, free Mountain Dew at the HPO booth at the bash. Just like I said for Carlisle, if you guys want to bring Mountain Dew,
I was saying,
you might
you
be,
bring it, we'll give it away.
you might be my favorite person, but I never prepare well for stuff like that. So I'll get there and be like, well, I'm thirsty now, and then I don't have anything. So
it's just so much though, like that you have to bring and prepare. It's just so much. Yeah, you never get it all.
I thought last year I was going to go and check it out, see how it is, and if it works well, this year I might trailer my car down, bring my HPO booth and all kinds of stuff, like make it a thing.
Yep.
But then even then, I could bring 400,000 different things and I'll forget 80.
Yep.
Like, it's just the way it works.
Yep.
Chopper Larry, they told me mid to late January they'll be shipping. Very Apple-esque, Steve Robertson. I actually said that in my video. 10 seconds Z06. Did he bring me Mountain Dew? I think he did at Carlisle. I'm pretty sure.
He brought something else in a cooler too.
Oh yeah, something a little more alcoholic.
Yeah. Yes.
Professor Corvette, why every live video I have a Mountain Dew in my hand, because I want them. I would love to get Mountain Dew as a sponsor. That would be fantastic. If you know anybody, let them know. Be like, hey, this HPO guy drinks a lot of Mountain Dew. I don't know.
Dude, that would be like the height of it, right?
Oh my god, it'd be that's when you know you made it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he brought beer.
Yeah.
That's what he brought.
Texas, you can order straight from Scrape Armor. Now, they did tell me they don't have that many units. The first batch of units, once it's sold out, the next batch won't be available for a little while. So again, just all the more reason you want to try to enter to win these things tonight, because there's not a lot of these things floating around out there. The majority of Scrape Armor's products in general go to GM. So when they make, XYZ amount of radiator grill guards, a good portion of them go straight to GM, and a very small portion of them are kept for selling to the public. So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about some news. We talked already about GM literally only doing a full EV Corvette if it's necessary. So basically, Tony Roma said there has to be a need and there has to be a want. We've already talked about how I don't think that there's a need, and I'm pretty sure there's not a want for a full EV, but I mean, there's a lot of an interview that went on here with Tony Roma, and he's surprisingly, I think he's going to actually be even better at this than Taj was. And that's saying a lot. So I think we're going to get some really cool cars coming from him. And I like the fact that he is not just 100% on board with a full EV. I think that by itself tells me all I need to know about him. He is a performance guy, and he's only going to do EV if it somehow benefits the brand, which is going to be if you guys want it or if there's a need for it. Yeah. Now, initially, there was a lot of talk about a full EV Corvette, and I believe at one point it was coming for the C8 generation. I believe at one point there was a push for it. They were going to make it. And something happened that kind of crushed that. And now even the C9 is unlikely to be EV. Maybe hybrid, but not EV. So moving on, though, since we're talking about hybrids, the 2024 Corvette E-Ray got honored with an award here, basically, as one of AutoGuide's 10 best cars they drove in 2024. Now, AutoGuide does a lot of the same kind of stuff that like Road and Track, Car and Driver, they do kind of the same kind of things. It's interesting that E-Ray is winning awards like this because not interesting, but the competition is not great. I don't like the cars they're compared to here. So number 10 was a Volkswagen Jetta GLI. I mean, obviously the Corvette is almost as cool as that. But scrolling down here,
cross-shop that. Yep.
Yeah, who cross shops these cars? Nobody.
Exactly.
2024 Corvette E-Ray, and it wins spot number 8, but it's a tie. Now, I almost don't want to show you what car this tied with, because it's again a car that is not being cross shopped with a C8 Corvette. I like the fact that this car is winning awards because regardless of what you guys say in the chat, I do like the E-Ray. I think it has a fantastic spot in the lineup, in the C8 lineup. But anybody want to take a guess? Let's take some guesses here. What car did the C8 E-Ray tie with on this list of AutoGuide's top 10? David, take a shot.
No, I don't even want to.
Brandon says, "Don't."
It's gonna be like an Ioniq or some shit.
Brandon says, "Tell me it's a Subaru." It's not a Subaru. It's not any better than a Subaru though. All right. I'm not going to give you guys. I don't want to give you guys a chance to go look it up because that's what's going to happen. No, see, Porsche would make sense. And honestly, even the Bolt would have made more sense. That's how pathetic this is. So let me open this back up. The car that tied with the E-Ray. So they're so close. They're so comparable. We can't make a decision. The Toyota Prius Prime. It's the Prime, guys. It's not just a Prius. It's the Prime. I mean, whenever I was looking to get my Z06, I was like, you know what? That Prius is really freaking nice. I don't know. I don't know which one I want to get. This is a very strange list. Very strange list. I mean, I love the fact that the E-Ray's winning some awards. That's fantastic. But this list is ridiculous.
They are not car people.
That's certainly what it seems like. So number 5 is a Mazda Miata, tied with a BMW i4. Again, those are two completely different cars, so I don't know how that gets a tie. But number 5 is another tie with a Honda Civic Touring Edition.
It's the Touring, even not like the SI or anything. The Touring Edition.
So here's number 3 is a tie with a Porsche Taycan, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce this stuff.
Which to me, because I've ridden in the Taycan, I raced the Taycan in my Z06. To me,
yeah, that should have been the tie with the E-Ray. Yeah,
you should have cross-shopped that with the E-Ray. That makes sense.
Makes way more sense. Yeah,
that makes sense.
The Prius and the Prius would have made sense with the Miata, and it's like this thing just doesn't put these cars together very well. So the Taycan is tied with another Porsche, which is, I guess, kind of makes sense. Although I don't think the 718 is not hybrid or electric. Like the Taycan's full electric, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So.
And the Taycan's a nice car.
Number 2 is a CT5V Blackwing. I can get that behind that. That's a nice car.
That is a nice car.
Oh, and then
even that you could process.
Number 1 is a Hyundai Ioniq 5. So David, without even knowing it, you freaking nailed it. Oh, Lord have mercy.
I knew it was going to be some BS like that.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So, the E-Ray is doing good things. It is winning awards, but at what cost, I ask? So the other thing is if you are an E-Ray guy or you're looking for an E-Ray, there is a dealership out there right now that's offering $4,000 under MSRP for them if you want to grab one. And that's pretty cool. I like to see that the prices are getting to where they should be. Not quite where they are for the ZR1 in that video I made for Joe. That was really pathetic, by the way. But luckily, I think that's where all working out. So anyway, if you guys are looking for an E-Ray, check this out. So this is where you can get brand new 2025 E-Rays. They're in stock and they're discounted by $4,000. Less Stanford. So if you guys are anywhere near there, 4,000 off. That's not bad.
No, that's a good deal.
I
was telling Nate when he was over at my place the other day, I was like, man, depending on how they start pumping these ZR1s out for 25, I may be 27 model year, if not late into an E-Ray might make sense for me for a couple of years. I mean, the upside on those things, I mean, there's a lot you can do to those.
Well,
they're already fast out of the box.
Have they cracked the ECU on the 25s yet? Because they did
on the 25s.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it's just the earlier ones.
I think it's still the 24s. The 25 changed just a hair, and the ECU wasn't able to be cracked. I don't know. I don't think that's changed yet. And if it doesn't change, that's gonna boost the value of the 24s pretty freaking high. So you might want to hang on to yours, Nate.
24s are about to get expensive. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's why I told Nate, I was like, especially the way his car is spec'd, I would not get rid of his car.
Dude, his car is mine, only an E-Ray. I love. As soon as I sat in his car, I was like, this just feels like my car.
It is badass, dude, and it's so. And that again, I'm not a commercial, but his AW exhaust sounds good, dude.
Oh yeah,
dude. The house.
That
sounds so good.
I have a video. Better. I have a video coming soon, talking about an AWE exhaust on a Ford Raptor. A friend of mine has a Ford Raptor. AWE was developing an exhaust, and he asked me basically if I'd put it on his and do video. So I did. When I first heard his Raptor, it's the new Gen 3 or whatever.
With the
it's a V.
5.2.
It's on an R. It's a V6 with twin turbos, and it's like I don't want to offend anybody here, but in my personal opinion, I heard this truck and I was like, man, that sounds bad. Like, I do not like that
I
at
can't
all.
wait to hear it.
And then
I can't wait to hear it.
after he got the AWE exhaust on there, I was doing some video in a parking lot so I could actually hear him like doing takeoffs and stuff. And I was like, dude, this thing sounds like a totally different truck. Catback exhausts don't typically change the sound that much, but on the Ford Raptor, it is the most different I've ever heard an exhaust make that much of a change to. Like,
Wow.
that video will be out probably this week sometime, and it's incredible how much different it sounds.
Nice.
Yeah, Robert Brunn says, Justin, I read that GM is making their ECUs more secure. There is a chance that the 25, 26, 27, 28, whatever E-Ray ECUs end up not being crackable. And if that's the case,
A lot of OEMs
C8
are going that way, man. Ford locked all the 24s.
yeah.
The only people that have the key to the 24s on all the Ford shit is like Whipple and the people that are like licensed to sell the stuff through Ford. That's the only people that can crack them. They locked them all.
Yeah. Yeah, C8 Nate, I actually talked to Andrew about that because he was originally going to sell me his 24 E-Ray. And really the only reason I didn't buy it was because I didn't love the spec. Because otherwise it was already twin turboed, it was already all this stuff, and I could have gotten it for a good price. But it's like the spec was just not me at all. So
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do it. But yeah.
Yeah, Mr. T's right. He said that the E-Ray is going to be talked about for decades, and you're right. That car, and it almost like there was a lot of hype, but it almost kind of slept for a minute. You know what I mean? Because they didn't do a good job.
It's still
of
sleeping.
marketing it.
It's still sleeping.
Yeah,
Because
they didn't do a good job of marketing it.
I don't agree with that statement. I don't think the E-Ray will be the car that's talked about for decades. I 100% believe it's the Z06. The E-Ray, not saying the E-Ray is not a good car, but I think the E-Ray is the car that not many people are, especially if the 25s and up can't be tuned. That is not going to be the car that's talked about. It is always the Z06 because of the engine they put in those cars, like the C6 Z06. That's still the car everybody wants out of the C6 generation because of that LS7. It's like those engines are what sells these cars, and the LT6 is that engine for the C8 platform.
Nice. Yeah, but they just, if GM had spent any money on marketing, any money for the E-Ray.
Yeah. Dude, they spent nothing.
My God.
They didn't spend any money on any of these cars. And they left it up to us, the YouTubers, to generate buzz for this stuff. And it's like, I don't have a problem generating buzz for a car that I'm seriously in love with. But it's like, imagine if this car came out and I didn't like it. And none of the YouTubers did. It's going to flop hard. And you're the one to blame because you didn't advertise it. They took a big risk on these cars.
But I think too though, with the way the E-Ray rolled out and how crappy their rollout was as far as getting them made and stuff, if they would have spent some money, I mean, the hype is there in the community that people know, but it's sleep. I mean, even the Corvette community is still a sleeper car.
It is.
It really is. Not enough people have experienced it to know how legit those fucking E-Rays are. Those things are insane.
If you go on to and I don't recommend any of you do this, but if you do happen to accidentally click on a Corvette group on Facebook, the amount of hate in general is disgusting. But the E-Ray gets more hate on those forums than any car I've ever seen in my life. And it's because I don't even know how this is possible, but it's mostly like 60 to 80-year-old men that are on there complaining about the E-Ray because it has a battery pack. And it's like I said, don't go on the Facebook groups. They're always just so full of hate. But
toxic.
Yeah, it is very toxic stuff. But they talk so badly about the E-Ray. It's almost like the E-Ray personally violated them or something because they take such an offense to this car. It's incredible. This Professor Corvette, this is why I don't think this car will go down in history like the Z06 will. Because even though GM's doing a good job of warranting it, they gave the battery pack on that car a 10-year warranty of its like separately on its own. That's great. But what happens after 10 years? And that's where the problems will start to come in with the E-Rays, especially if it can't be tuned. That car is not going to be the car that history remembers. It will be the Z06 and it will be the ZR1. The ZR1 because just like the C6 generation, the Z06 is the car everybody wants because of the engine. But people want the ZR1 too. It's just more expensive.
It's the halo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, until you never know. I mean, as this hybrid technology becomes more of the standard stuff,
Yeah.
maybe the battery packs are better. Maybe
Oh,
things are better that
100%.
when you need it replaced,
100%.
that when you need it replaced, you can get a better one. Who knows? We'll
This
see.
this is without a doubt, this factors into what we were talking about earlier. Battery technology is not there yet. Once it is,
And the way they designed the car around it, I don't know, like Brandon and I have been underneath ours a lot. That tunnel where the battery stuff, it's easy to get to that stuff. So, like, it cannot be this huge thing where you have to replace the whole floor of the car. It literally sits in the
yeah,
tunnel
right.
and you can replace it. It can't be that bad.
No, it's probably not that bad. But the way Chevy does parts for their cars, it will be almost impossible to get that part 10 years after the car's done. Like if you have, we'll say that the C8 stops in 2030.
Be a very real possibility.
Oh, it's good. It's going to be. You're not. It's not the same battery pack that they're going to use forever. So eventually, you're not going to be able to get it anymore. I mean, I know I'm talking to a lot of C5 and some C6 people that can't get parts for their cars. That they literally don't exist anymore.
Yeah, which is crazy because you used to be able to walk into AutoZone and buy parts for these cars.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, COVID really changed a lot of stuff. All right, so we got one more entry. It looks like for the. Oh, Larry Anthony. I didn't even know he was on here. Larry Anthony donated $100, so he's in for 20 entries. Let's see. Do we have anybody else in here? Larry. Nope. Okay, so guys, we are about to run these giveaways. So if you want to get entered for anything else, now's your time to do so. We're going to be giving both of these things away tonight. So if you want to get entered, let's do it within the next 5 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, Darren, you're right. Like once you get used to a V8, the sound, the everything, it's really hard to be happy with anything else.
The only V6 I ever owned that I actually thought sounded good, I used to own a 370Z Nismo. And that actually sounded good with a good exhaust. I had Fast Intentions catback on that car. It sounded really good. And the same thing with the GTR, very similar engines. The GTR sounds good for a V6. And that's really it. Other than that, I have not heard a V6 that I like the sound of.
Yeah, it's hard to get them to sound that good.
I got you in there, Chopper, Larry, Jeremy. I got you guys all in there. I'm going to start putting your names in here in a second.
Yeah, I agree, Bill. I'm telling you now, I am all in on this hybrid stuff after buying the truck, man. Dude, I'm getting 26 miles to the gallon in a full-size pickup truck.
Yep.
I drive, somewhere about like a sixth to a fifth of my miles every day I drive are all EV because the truck turns on and off for EV. It blows my mind. Plus, it tows more. Crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
You can run your house on it.
I don't disagree that hybrid is the future. I don't know. Honestly, it may be a lot longer than people really think before we go completely full electric on everything.
Oh yeah, dude, just infrastructure alone, like you said at the beginning, just infrastructure alone, we are years and years and years. We're decades away from that.
Yep.
Decades.
Yep. All right, David, I'm going to start putting some names in here.
You got it.
I don't know if you want to strike up conversation about something while I'm doing this. It's going to take me a minute, but guys, I'm still going to have this open for 3 more minutes. So if you donate anything while I'm putting these entries in, I will get you in there. But otherwise, I'm going to have David chat with you guys for a little bit. So pick David's brain.
Yeah, actually, and Lars brought something up, Justin. They're not V6s, but
no, I'm not counting the inlines. This is just V's.
That's a whole other ballgame, guys. Like, those things sound insane.
Or the flat six Porsches are totally different thing.
Totally different animal.
Yep.
Kevin, I bought a F-150 Power Boost. I needed a new tow rig, and so it's the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, but it's got the battery hybrid as well. So it's pretty freaking amazing. It's got like 570 foot-pound of torque, and like I said, I mean, I did a quick video on it, but I think like one of the first longer trips I took, it was a mix of city and highway drive. It was like 50 something miles. 20 of those miles were all EV, and I got like 26 miles to the gallon. I got 1,000 miles on the truck now. That's what I'm still averaging is 26 miles. It's crazy, dude. Crazy. And that's the thing. Like, I think I lost 200 pounds of payload because of the battery, but I picked up more towing, so it all kind of, evens out on the end. But yeah. Yeah, actually, Jeremy, I did get an update from the guy this week. I'm hoping to get uh some more information on like when he will be able to get me some. I need to talk with you about when we get a date as far as when he's going to ship them, because you're close enough to me that we can do your set. I can come down and do it for you. Um, so yeah, I did actually get an update this week, Jeremy. So, and then Nate's getting his spacers. He came up the other day. So that video will be coming out soon. Which when this company, when the video comes out, you guys will see. And we're gonna have like some offers through Instagram and stuff. They actually offer with the spacer, because one of the things is, so when you put a spacer on, you lose a little bit. You lose a couple of the size on your lugs, so you don't have as many turns. So, but the way he machines them with an extended lip on the lug and then and then in the spacer, so that when it sits in, you still get the full 9 3/4 turns on the lug for SAE standards, so safety standards. So you actually don't even lose any lug tension on that. So it's actually a pretty cool design, man. So yeah, no, you're right, Nate. The Ford GT basically has a EcoBoost based motor as well, and yeah, that one sounds pretty cool. I have to. You're right on that one. So, and then I would say people were asking about the bash. So we're set up for the bash. We're set up for Carlisle, and we're gonna try. If you guys have any other events that you guys have, uh, big events, let us know, because we're trying to get to as many events as we can this year. So. The convertible, Jay, everything on the convertible is more difficult. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're doing, bud. It's all more difficult. It's up down unless you take it off. The other thing too is there's a fluid reservoir that sits, which would be over top of where the throttle bodies would sit, kind of in that area. That on the hardtop convertible they'll have to come off. I mean, it's nothing big, but it just has to come off to do that. It's not impossible. It's just a little bit harder. That's all. It's just up, down, up, down, up, down. You can take that back part off and it helps, but that's another step you have to do. Just one more step. So, but everything's harder on the convertible. And yeah, Professor Corvette, ZR1 versus GTD. That's going to be. I hope GM gives us an official time. I really, really do.
Yeah.
Really, really do. And Jeremy, when I come down for your spacers, like, we're gonna have to actually do some footage of your car besides like the two like 10-second rollers you have, so that people believe that you actually own
Hmm.
the car and drive the car, and it's not a hologram in your garage or like a cutout.
Ouch.
Dude, I was like, that car is amazing with the stealth wrap. I'd be driving that thing all over the place. Yeah, Mark. So yes, that is. So they have this the spacers that are coming that Nate will get the set. Mark, it's the same one, and it's the one that'll be doing the ones for the carbon fiber wheels as well. So, and the lug nuts with the extra lip on them are titanium as well. So he's a pretty cool guy, man. He was like, he wants to scan like the factory headers and see if he can make a better set of headers. We'll see. Hope so.
All right, so I think we're good. Come on, let's talk about vets. That's all we've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, ZR1 versus GTD. Even if we don't get an official time from Chevy, which we probably won't on the Nürburgring, there's no doubt in my mind it's faster than the GTD. It has to be. It's roughly the same weight with better aero and more power.
100% it will be.
Yeah.
100%.
I honestly don't necessarily believe that the Z06 isn't. I think
the Z06 is close. I think they would be very, very similar times.
I bet
100%.
I'm right there too. I bet you the Z06 in the right hands is probably right around a high 650 car. So
yep.
That means the ZR1 is a low 650, high 640s. I'd put money on that.
Oh yeah. And it doesn't matter what your gearing is in fifth gear if you've got 1,000 horsepower.
I said the same thing. A lot of people don't believe that the fifth gear, the gearing, that's an issue at all. And I'm not 100% sure that I really do either, because like I don't, it just doesn't seem like it would matter that much.
So somebody I know did a video where I put it in manual mode and went out and I was timing it in fifth gear pulse, because I just don't believe that it's that exponentially longer that it would make that much of a difference. So I'm just gonna say this: I don't think it was the issue either.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
So are you putting out a video like that?
What's that?
You're putting that out on a video? Oh, okay, cool. I look forward to that one. That's going to get some internet stirring.
I actually was like, why hasn't anybody done this shit?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, okay, I guess that's my cue.
There you go. All right, guys, we're going to run the giveaway here. I don't think anybody else, nope, no one else has donated, so we are all in. Let me count entries here. We got 22 entries this time.
And I will say fifth gear gets you, that'll get you way into go to jail territory. Way into go to jail territory.
Oh, yeah. I can see that being the case.
Yeah.
Was this your car?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, your car. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready? You guys ready to see? Remember, I'm pulling two.
Let's do this.
Two.
Big money, no whammies.
two winners tonight. So, scrape armor and the.
Which one are you rolling fifth?
Huh?
Which one's first?
Oh. Whoever wins first, you get to choose which item you want. So you are either getting the scrape armor radiator grill guards for the side intakes on the wide body C8s, or you're getting the Carplay Box Ultra. You can choose whichever one you want. Top of fifth is go to jail. Okay, here we go. Here we go. First winner.
Here we go. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies.
Ooh. Looks like Larry Anthony.
Larry Anthony. Congratulations, brother.
Nice. All right, so Larry Anthony is the winner. I don't think he's in here, but if you're in here, Larry, I'm pretty sure I already know he's taking the scrape armor. So let me see if he texted me.
Good old Larry. I'm glad he won.
I'm asking him now.
Professor Corvette said rigged. No, it was rigged when Mark Cutsey won like every other week.
No, it was. Was it Mark? I couldn't. I honestly couldn't rig this thing in if I wanted to.
Matt Hurley was the one that won every other week.
Matt Hurley won a lot because he used to donate a lot. Like the more you donate, Larry Anthony donated $100. Like,
yep.
If you donate a lot, the odds of your winning on that wheel, it expands. Like the largest one on there is the green one, and that's Steve Robertson. He donated $200. Yep. So when I run this again, would not surprise me if he wins because his is so much larger than everybody else's.
Brandon.
What?
Yep. Larry says grill guards, please. Brandon said, I thought for sure it was going to be a Steve.
Steve, yeah. All right, Larry, congratulations. You won the he's going to be the official person with the second set.
Awesome, man.
Okay, so here we go with I'm going to run the second one here. This is going to be for the Carplay Box Ultra. I got to delete Larry's name out of here, though. We don't want the possibility of him winning both things. So here we go again.
Big money, no whammies.
Oh, there it is. I knew it. It's like I shouldn't even have said it because now it does look like it's rigged. But it's like, look how much bigger his is than everybody else's.
Yeah, yep. It's funny that you said it.
I know, and as I was saying, I was like, I shouldn't say this because he probably is going to win the next spin. So, Steve Robertson, you win the Carplay Box Ultra.
Congrats, man.
Larry and Steve both, if you guys could please email me with your shipping address, and it really just acts as basically a placeholder for that win. So send me an email, horsepowerobsessed@gmail.com. I'll get you both those things sent out here ASAP. So just make sure you both email me. So yeah, guys, great show tonight. Thanks for tuning in as usual. Next Monday night starts a new sponsorship, and it's going to be pretty cool. If you guys are interested in new wheels, next month might be the month. So awesome, guys. I appreciate all the support.
Appreciate having you guys. Yep.
Thanks for being on, David. Always a huge pleasure, especially whenever you shower me with compliments. I like that. No, seriously, it's awesome.
You talk good about me. Come on.
Yeah. Stay obsessed throughout 2025. That's great. Yeah, guys, Happy New Year. I won't see you before the new year at this point, I guess.
Everybody be safe, please.
Yeah,
Everybody
be safe.
We want all of you guys back next Monday.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, don't go crazy. And if you do, especially don't drive your Corvettes. So anyway, guys.
Z06, please leave the Z06 in the garage on New Year's Eve, bro.
Yeah, you don't want another 5 tickets.
Yeah,
right.
And leave it in the garage.
All right, guys. Thank you. Big thank you to David for being on. Happy New Year's. We'll see you guys all same time, same place next Monday night.